Hey everyone, it's me, Frankie MacDonald. Let's do a tornado siren.
Well, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather we got. Wait a minute. Well, whether it's cold, whether it's hot,
The Comedeorological Report.
Frankie's got the weather, whether or not.
You are tuned into CFUR 88.7 FM in Prince George, or perhaps you're tuned into CKUW 95.9 FM in Winnipeg. You are tuned into the Comedeorological Report. I am your host, Dr. Joey Only, here with, of course, the panel of comedeorologists, including lead commentator Frankie MacDonald and co-star of the show,
Frankie, the weatherman. Frankie, the weatherman. Who?
Frankie!
Who?
Frankie!
Ladies and gentlemen, Frankie!
Welcome, Frankie MacDonald. How's your week been?
I'm doing great so far. It's been raining a lot in Sydney, Nova Scotia today.
Yeah, how much?
It's been raining so much in my area.
How much?
Over 50 millimeters of rain happened, bringing a lot of rain and wind and things and rain. And it was raining started yesterday evening. The latest videos I did is Guy tries to eat 50 sloppy Joe tacos at once. Okay, guys, we're going to do it. Guy tries to eat 50 sloppy Joe tacos at once. I want you to eat 50 sloppy Joe tacos at once. Eat them all right now. Eat those sloppy Joe tacos right now. I can't take anymore. Dana! I told you eat sloppy Joe tacos. Don't go fall down. Eat 10 more. Don't go falling down. If you want to eat sloppy Joe tacos, don't go falling down. And another video I did yesterday is the last video before it rains. Is the guy dancing then being chased by even more gorillas. Okay, guys, let's do some dancing. Let's show me my moves. Sounds like gorillas are coming. Oh my God, the gorillas are after me now. They're starting to chase me nonstop. More gorillas, they're after me now. More gorillas after me now. There's a lot of gorillas after me now.
Even more gorillas. Even more this time.
There's a heat wave headed for central Canada, central United States. Houston, Texas is getting a lot of thunderstorms lately, and Vancouver's getting a lot of rain as well.
Yeah, we have a major storm happening coming to BC tonight. And hey, Kat,
Yes,
you don't need
there's
to
a
be so loud.
typhoon headed for Tokyo Thursday night and Friday.
What about in the Hurricane Sam? What's going on with this thing?
Hurricane Sam is going out to sea.
Good news. What about Ontario weather?
And warm air, cold air fighting each other, changing showers and thunderstorms and things like that.
How about Winnipeg for our listeners in Winnipeg?
In Winnipeg, Manitoba, weather in Winnipeg is they're getting thunderstorms right now. They're getting some showers tomorrow. It's going to turn hot again next week in Winnipeg.
Lots of late season thunderstorm activity this year. Indeed. Frankie, what's been going on in Australia?
In Sydney, Australia, where Jason lives. And over where Jason lives in Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. And weather's going to be really hot on Monday. The hail season starting next month. It sounds like next month they'll be getting lots of hail, October, November, in southeastern Australia.
How about Asia, Frankie? Tell us about Asia.
And they get hail season. That's their spring storms in Australia. That's their tornado season in October, November.
How about Asia, Frankie?
Over in Asia, there's a typhoon headed for Japan Thursday and Friday.
All right. Anything else in the world going on you want to tell us about?
There's a lot of rain in Hong Kong and Bangkok, Thailand. Bangkok, Thailand still will be going to dry season soon. It's going to bring a lot of rain and wind in Greater Tokyo, Japan. Cairo, Egypt is hot and dry. Moscow, Russia is dry and cooler right now. And UK has changed the showers and things like that. South Africa's getting warmer, Argentina and Chile, they're all getting warmer because this is their spring of the year down.
Heard it from himself, Frankie MacDonald, the legend out in Sydney, Nova Scotia.
Frankie, the weatherman. Frankie, the weatherman. Who? Frankie. Who? Frankie. Ladies and gentlemen, Frankie.
More grills after me now.
The man with 268,000 YouTube subscribers, of course. Good to see you, Frank. We have over in Brooks, Alberta, our consummate weatherman who's been gone for a week or two, and I'll ask you about that. But first, let's just talk weather. Brandon Houck, radio weatherman down in Brooks, Alberta. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, it's been a wild couple of weeks, but weather's been actually pretty nice around here. Especially last weekend had temperatures near 30 degrees. So last little bit of little taste of summer around here.
Give us an extended forecast for the prairies there, if you would, Brandon.
Okay, so we did cool down a little bit here in Alberta. We had some record-breaking heat in Saskatchewan and Manitoba last couple of days. Temperatures soaring in the 30s. I think the hottest was Yellowgrass yesterday, 34 degrees. And today, southern Manitoba, still seeing temperatures south of Winnipeg right now over 27, 28 degrees as of 9 o'clock p.m. this evening. So still very warm with those thunderstorms are moving up from the U.S. and there could be some flash flood potential in southern Manitoba tonight. So we'll be watching those storms very closely, and that will probably be the main window for tonight. And the thunderstorm action should shut down kind of after midnight tonight. So those folks walking out of the Winnipeg Jets game tonight are going to could encounter a bit of a show on the way back home. Also, as I said, we did cool down here in Alberta today, and we've also have next storm coming in out of British Columbia. And that is a pretty potent storm on the BC coast there, and that's going to cause Chinook conditions to develop again tonight. And once again, we'll see those downsloping winds through. We've got wind warnings up and down the foothills. Could see wind gusts 90 to 100 kilometers an hour through the day on Thursday. That's going to allow those temperatures to rebound against the day with a little cooler, around 20 degrees, but which is still above average. And then we'll bump up to about 25 tomorrow. Cool right back down on Friday. And then we'll bump back up again for the weekend with temperatures. Lights went out. Temperatures around the low 20s as we go through the weekend into early next week. And probably later on next week, we won't see a big pattern change. And we'll have to watch that pattern change very closely because, as you probably have heard before, at this day 2 years ago, we had 30 centimeters of snow on the ground. So we are very fortunate not to have to deal with that this year so far. And what happens to bad rainbows? Well, they go to prism, and it's kind of a light sentence, I believe. Yeah.
They go to prism. So, listeners, keep in mind that we're reviewing the weather this week, sort of across Canada and the world. The show is being recorded on the 29th of September. So for those of you in Prince George, you'll be hearing this show on Saturday morning, which is a bunch of days later, like the 1st or something. And then Winnipeg, you'll be hearing it some more days after that, right? On Monday. So 5 days behind, I guess, if you will. That's the kind of forecasting we're doing here at the Comedeorological Report. The comedeorology is the study of comedy and weather, and because the weather is funny business. And I just totally nailed that one, didn't I? Okay.
More grills after me now.
This week, while bacheloring it, I did some thinking about the 5-second rule. I dropped my chip. How long is too long, anyways? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's still good. It's still good. Ah, shit, I did it again. Oh, the chip's all broken, so now it doesn't pass the 5-second rule because it's broken. The 5-second rule is a government conspiracy to control your mind, man. This is a real nice butter chicken that I made. It was only on the floor for 10 minutes. But it's going to be okay because I cooked it. So basically the 5-second rule is bunk because even before the chip hits the floor, anything that would have been in the air will now be on the chip. So all kinds of diseases like anthrax are now landing on that chip as it passes through the air. So therefore, the 5 second, you want to get that chip out of the bag as fast as you can, because as soon as the chip is out of the bag, it starts being exposed to all the toxins like anthrax. You want to eat your chips as fast as you can so that nothing bad can happen to them. It's a race against time. Scientists say it only takes like 8 years for McDonald's and things like that to go bad. Wonder Bread? Maybe 5 seconds isn't so bad, but suppose you dropped your chips into some poop, which can happen if you're a farmer. You know, you drop things into poop all the time. So is 5 seconds of your chip in the poop, is that okay with you? Are you that kind of person that dips your chips in poop? That's deep. So just ask yourself, where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line? We do have just stepping in to the studio tonight as my friend Rosanna, and she's been involved with the Fairy Creek things that have been happening on the coast there. If you're not aware, there's been a very large stand of trees that were getting cut down, and lots of people went and fought it. Activism happened, and lots of bad arrests, and then a turn of events with the injunction process yesterday. Hello, good evening, or good morning, depending on whether you're listening to it. This show is totally, I'm saying good evening, but people are listening to the show in the morning. So there you go. Things are totally crazy. Tell us about the totally crazy turn of events yesterday, Rosanna.
Well, I just want to clarify one thing. I haven't been to Fairy Creek this year. Last time I was there was last October. I was funding my daughter to go for a while. But I've been here in our interior old growth forests and working in the bush here primarily. But the awesome turn of events down at Fairy Creek is that the RCMP injunction was not renewed. So basically, the injunction that gave the RCMP power to just arrest people for being in the middle of the road, protesting peacefully, has been removed. And the judge basically said that the RCMP embarrassed the judiciary with their conduct, not wearing their badges, displaying the thin blue line badge, acting violently, and suppressing media. And so the judiciary did not want to be associated with their conduct any longer. So nobody really knows what is kind of next, but it is very celebratory. A bunch of the RCMP left, from what I'm hearing. Roads that were closed, that people were having to hike in supplies, are now open again. So I think it's been a real happy couple days down there. It's been really happy up here, even for people who are supporting them.
I've been around activist causes. You know, I'm in my 40s now. I've been around activist causes most of my adult life. And before, I don't think I've ever heard of anything like this. A judge striking down an injunction because of the RCMP's conduct. Like, it's never happened before. Can you speak to that?
I'm a little dumbfounded. I was not expecting that at all. Basically, the judge not even a week ago, had just said he was going to delay his decision. And people didn't know whether it was going to be a few days, a month. People were just expecting the injunction to be extended. Previously, the judge had spoken to the RCMP with regards to their conduct, and had more than alluded to that they were overstepping the boundaries of their powers within the boundaries of the injunction. I have a feeling that the judge was I don't know, but I have a feeling the judge was a little pissed, because it was behavior as usual after that. The RCMP just kept doing what they were doing. They still suppressed media. They still were having exclusion zones, things that the judge had previously spoken directly to, and saying that they were outside of the boundaries of that injunction.
The police are just so used to doing whatever they want and getting away with it. I mean, this is common knowledge. I mean, it may be shocking that I'm saying that in radio at 10 in the morning in Prince George, but truthfully, this is what everyone knows. So it's very rare. And I just wonder what the legal basis for this is, if how this is going to be challenged and how long this will stand.
I've heard people talking that Teal Jones might apply for another injunction. As it is, this injunction is done. So I think that's the way that might go. I've also sadly been seeing there's a couple things on Facebook from people saying that they would take it into their own hands if the injunction was gone, and personally want to kick the forest defenders out of the area. So that's a little bit worrisome too, because there has been some threats and whatnot. So I'm heading down on the 14th. So I'm hoping that it'll still be happy and good news down there. They still need people at camp. It's not over by any means. It just means that the RCMP cannot arrest people any longer for just being in the middle of the road.
So can you explain to our listeners who may not know, for example, people in Winnipeg listening at 95.9 probably don't have much of an association with Fairy Creek and what this is all about there. So can you just sort of walk us through the nature of the forest stand there, what it's like, and also what you do for work?
Here in BC, we're really lucky in that we have ancient forests. We have forest stands that are 500 plus years old. The trees are massive. The ecosystems have built up over thousands of years to have complex and really interesting, beautiful relationships that you do not find in secondary growth stands or in plantation stands. Most of these ancient giant tree forests are gone both on the coast and in the interior and continue to be logged right now. See them constantly. So people are standing up and saying, please, we want to hold on to the last of these landscapes for lots and lots of reasons. Biodiversity, carbon storage, just the absolute beauty and specialness of them is honestly, that's where it hits me. I can't walk into these forests without absolutely falling in love with them. So there's a personal love for a lot of people.
This thing is making noise. And if I just wait another minute,
No problem.
the answering machine will get it. My secretary. Tell us what you do for work.
I am a biologist. My training is in forest ecology and plant health. I basically am a data collection monkey for the most part at this point. I don't have my professional status as a biologist yet, so I have my own little company. I go out and I collect data. I do some practical work, doing Douglas fir beetle trapping and stuff like that for the Ministry of Forests. My favorite work I do is data collection on climate change studies. I've been doing that for the last few years. Not my studies, other people's studies, and again, the Ministry of Forests, the research wing. So I'm out there a lot. I get to see a lot, and I love it out there. This year was a little devastating out there, as every year. So, but I was in your hood this year. I was up in Caribou. So that was nice.
Yes, Rosanna Wijenberg from Ymir. Can you just tell us some of the places you went this summer and just some of your assessment of BC forests?
Oh, God. Well, I was working up Highway 22. So I was working outside of Alexis Creek, both north and south. So I was working on the edges of the Big Burn from 2017. And I was also on the north side of that, of those burns up by NASCO. So I got to work it from every angle, and I was looking for young pine stands to survey and see how healthy they are. So that was, it could be challenging considering the extent of that fire, which was absolutely devastating to see. We'd all heard about it at the time, but actually see the extent and travel through it. Other place that I was at the Flathead Lake fire after it had just been burnt through. We went through there looking for sites to survey. Happy to say there was still a bunch of greenery left in there, but it was something else to go through with right after everybody had just cleared out and the restricted zone was still up, and they just kind of let us through to go see what we could find. So we went up by Likely, up on the back road to Barkerville and Wells. Didn't make it quite up your way, and that was amazing to me because I didn't realize that you guys had this amazing wet belt in the Caribou and the old growth that was up there and the density. It was a lot of work to work up in those forests. There was lots of bushwhacking and lots of bear activity, lots of trees being stripped by the grizzlies.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited.
Into my world.
I'm excited to come back. It's so cool.
Hey Joe, hey Rosanna, I gotta show you a copy of my book. Be prepared to find out that life, weather, and everything. You gotta go to the bookstore and ask the sales clerk to order it in person.
Do I need that?
Yes.
I could use all the help I can get, honestly.
When you go to the closest Chapters Indigo bookstore, you have to ask the sales clerk about that.
Okay, I will. What's it gonna prepare me for?
Bad
Everything?
weather and things. It talks about your childhood pictures of me. Talk about autobiography about my childhood days, going all the way back to when I was an infant baby.
Is it your book?
Yes, it's my book.
That's awesome.
My copy just over. I can see it from here.
I wanted to bring up one thing, Joey, about where I'm trying to get to up in your area. I'm trying to get up to the north arm, and it will probably won't be this season. The north arm of Quinnell Lake. There's
Yes.
supposedly some giant trees up there that need measuring. They're part of a park proposal, and I need to get up there and go measure some trees. So I'm
That
excited
sounds
to come back.
awesome.
I'm pretty excited about it.
I'm going to be doing sort of similar work this fall and winter, working for Caribou Forest Consultants, but I think I'm going the other direction. I think I'm heading out towards Nasco and places like that, and down to the Chilcotin. So does anyone from our panel of cometeorologists? I see Imogen Cookie Bailey is just showing up in a spacesuit, and Gabriel Berardo, the rapping weatherman down in Southern Ontario, he's showed up well. I've been talking with Rosanna Wijenberg down in Ymir. We stick around, Rosanna, become a
And then
comedeorologist.
you got a guy, Chris Hatfield. He wore a real space suit going up in space station. Chris Hatfield, Sarnia, Ontario.
Hey there, Space Imogen.
And I know Chris Hatfield. He is one of the Canadians up in space station, up in space at the International Space Station. Chris Hatfield is born and raised in Sarnia, Ontario.
What Imogen needs for her space helmet is some sort of mechanism that holds the joint, so then you can lower the glass shield down so that you can hotbox your spacesuit.
Well, my other helmet does have that small opening in the front, but it's big enough and it's round enough that it actually does kind of have this natural hotbox atmosphere. It's really nice when I have to reacclimatize in the atmosphere.
You need to have like a little roach clip that's sort of stuck, so you can stick, and then put the helmet down, just fabricate
You know what?
it.
You're onto something.
You'll thank me for this, for the astronaut hotbox. It's very Klingons say revenge is a dish best served stoned. It's very stoned in space. Isn't that what Ricardo Montalban says in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan? How's with the weather in Victoria, British Columbia going today? Have you seen much of that Pacific storm so far?
It's wet. It's miserable. It's cranky. It's a perfect allegory for my ex-girlfriend. It's horrible.
Do you find that the spacesuit helps keep the rain off while you're on Earth?
I'm not only atmosphere proof, but I'm weatherproof. Nothing gets through this. Nothing. Once this visor is down, once it's down, I'm in my own world. It's like when you're a kid and you build a fort out of couch cushions and blankets and stuff. It's your own world in there. Once that visor is down, nothing else matters.
Not even anthrax can hurt you.
I'm anthrax proof. Ebola proof. Someone threw a bowl of Ebola at me a while ago. Water off a duck's face, man. It just dripped off the suit, recoagulated as a small little lump, and made its own way back into the bowl. It's the magic of Ebola.
Those filoviruses, tricky as they are.
They're sneaky little things. They find a way, but when you go to space a couple times and you sort of see where the atmospheric conditions kind of allow for these variations, and it's a whole other world. It's great. Also, science happens around you. Science.
Science. Gabriel Berardo.
So is
How
that
you doing?
your new mask?
How you doing this week, Gabriel Berardo? That is her new
I asked
mask.
if that's her new mask. Good,
Thanks,
yeah. Good this week, yeah. That was pretty good.
Talk to us about Ontario's weather.
Well, it have been pretty decent, quiet kind of. Teens maybe, 15, 14 maybe. We've obviously seen this week. It's been pretty dry, but Saturday night heading into Sunday, and then of course on Monday, rain. Temperatures though warming up into like the 20s, I think. Again, like the lower like 20s. Celsius though, it's not Fahrenheit, because I know there's possibly some people that, say, well, I mean, like 20s like minus something. Like, no, I know, because I'm talking about Celsius here, guys. I'm not talking about Fahrenheit. If it was about 15 Fahrenheit,
it would be cold.
So sad.
It would make no sense. Yeah, right? You would be more than just cold, Joey. You would be like trapped in your house for like days of the biggest cold in years, but that isn't really what we're seeing. So we're just, it's just 15 to maybe 20 Celsius this of course week, and obviously of course half like the week is over, so I guess that's great news. But it looks to be a pretty wet weekend for us over here, and pretty, I guess, warm and kind of humid weekend also too. I mean, look, 20s, nice, right? I like that kind of weather
for this time of year.
It's nice for this time of year.
Are your leaves ever gonna fall
Mhm.
off?
Well, looking outside, there isn't really that much leaves off just yet. Some of them are turning brown, maybe, but well, they're honestly still on the trees. So I mean, it's a little bit, I just kind of want like leaves like to change already. I love it. I love like the fall. I love Halloween season.
I just like any season,
Oh
any
yeah, oh yeah.
anything that celebrates like pure morbidity. I totally love it. I'm down with that. It's like the heavy
Oh
metal.
yeah, right. I love all the right. It's great. I love all the scary like movies and like the scary like stuff. I know there's some new horror movies coming out soon. I actually, of course, might go see those in theaters, but well, if I obviously have them on my TV over here, I'm just gonna rent them for like as freaking low as like $25. It's not that much for new movies, but I'm obviously just joking. 20 it's when you of course want to rent a new movie without of course going to the theaters. Here it's like $25. It's like a lot of money, but guess what, right? If it's a new scary movie that has been liked by like lots and is doing good, I'm gonna watch it. I don't care. I asked my mom, oh yeah, could we just rent this horror movie? It's only about $25. She's like, $25? Oh my god, fine. So I'm like, okay, yeah, you know what? Then I'm just gonna go and rent it and go and see it and see exactly how it is, right?
When I was a young man, you had to go to a store and you gave the money and they gave you this cassette tape. Before that, though, even we rented VCR because no one had a VCR. You actually rented the machine itself.
Look at Imogen.
Like the first movie I ever saw on VCR was The Goonies. What was the first movie? Let's actually, before we go to the panel of comedeorologists, Gabriel, do you have any fall weather rap for us? It's been a few weeks since we had a rap.
Fall weather rap. Oh yeah. Okay, wait. Like I could actually give you a fall weather rap. Here's your fall weather rap, guys. I haven't really rapped in a while, but I guess I've been saving it all for the Joey only show for when I had a chance to rap again. So here we go. Oh, okay.
Hey, Joey,
sorry about that, Joey.
That means you got to want to go to Prince George Cougars game, Prince George for British Columbia. You got to need a proof of vaccination and a BC government ID.
That's true.
Yeah, Joey. I mean, Joey only is the only podcast dialogue I would ever be on. I mean, like you see, I mean, it's obviously quite simple, but I mean, the leaves will fall in the fall. Now I like to head outside and play some nice basketball, but with the ice. And yes, I paid the price. And yes, the fall is what I like. And everybody gotta know that, man. When the fall, cause man, you see the leaves gonna change from yellow into orange into red. I'ma head outside, yeah, man. That is what I said. GB the rapping weatherman, that's where I led. Yeah. Looking at the weather gonna change in the fall right now. Now looking at me head outside and play some basketball before it gets cooler outside. I swear to God, man, just over is not on this. Oh, but wait, man, I am kind of bipolar, but in this freestyle, yeah, I could go over just like I'm Drake riding in a Range Rover, and y'all already know that I could literally spit this. Here to go witness all the leaves fall right now. I'm standing outside in the cold and the stiffness, so I gotta really stay with this. But I'm really not sure what I'm really gonna do if I really sit down. You know what, man? So I gotta really look at the leaves fall on the ground, looking at the leaves fall in my town. Now looking at me when I go in a plane, and we really gotta go up. Had to see the lost out on the ground in the forest, looking at me and oh wait, man, this weather is kind of annoying. Man, I like the weather in the fall because I'm GB, the rapping weather man. I see you rap, you love it all, and yes, the leaves will fall on the ground forever. It doesn't matter, I'm the weather man. I'm rapping you the weather way too clever, man. I gotta suit this nice and smooth. I mean, it may not be just leather, but you know that I could get leather and I could spit it like a Marshall Mathers. Following the pattern doesn't matter. I don't need the ice and I don't need the ice on my neck around like Saturn. But yeah, in the fall, I got the outfit. Y'all already know that I'ma spit it. it. I'ma see what I can get from it and look at me. So I'ma get a new fit. I'ma go make it lit when I head outside in the fall with nice colors. Or rather, but yes, you see outside and me and my mother riding in a car, checking out the forest because you know I gotta go and take the photos and just follow the motto. Cause I got the slow right now, but it ain't gonna fit in slow though. Now looking at this, no man, I swear to God that everybody gotta head outside yo, because the weather is changing. I mean this weekend it will be raining, but you know what? Humidity. I mean the summer, yes, we kinda had history with the storms moving in and might be chasing. And yes, you know these storms, man, that's what I be embracing. And yes, me and Jacqueline and Frankie McD tracking you the weather for the greatest, latest straight to see, because we famous every single day. Cause honestly, and I'm spit it, but the Joey only show, and so you got to see a copy. You know what? Just get his book and look at where it took him, because this rap is gonna get cooking. So book him for his next show, because it's a Joey only show. So wait, let me not finish, because you know the Imogen be literally getting on the man. Oh, hitting on the man doesn't really matter what she says. You know what, man, with the costume every single day, so awesome. Looking at this man too, but looking at her, looking at Frankie, looking at Brandon too, because that guy is what we like to see, and the weather gonna do something cool, because you know that I'm the weatherman, and haters calling me a fool. I mean, it doesn't matter, because I can still fix you up just like a tool. Ooh,
That was awesome, man.
okay, wait, hold on. Yeah, okay.
What do you think?
How was that,
Satanic
Joey?
Chucky Doll. Look who it is. It's satanic evil Chucky Doll.
Yeah, man. This is from Bride of Chucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually mentioned
It does
your
to come
costume
back
in the
to
rap.
it doesn't come to life in reality. They comes to life only in fantasy.
Well, he has walked around a couple of times. He's
This
actually
is
helped me with
fantasy,
some
not
things the other day.
reality.
I gotta say, check out his manicure and his lipstick. Those were not stock.
Yeah, like that's scary.
Yep. And I put some braids in his hair. Where are we here? Yeah, see? Yeah, just
Alright.
like that.
How much like was that? Was that like, do you obviously like work at like a costume store? Like you used to like work at a costume store, right? So I guess it was free, you know?
No, I did buy it. I was
Oh.
able to-
Oh,
The
okay.
astronaut suit, yeah. Chucky, I bought Chucky when the Bride of Chucky movie first came out, like 20 years ago. So this is like a,
Oh, okay, so that's older than me. Yeah, okay, nice to know that.
yeah, everything in my house is older than that.
Wow.
thing.
I mean, yeah, it looks like it's scary. I mean, I just put that at like night, like in front of like somebody just like room, just like waking up, and you're like, oh, what the hell? What is that thing? And you're like, oh my God, Jesus.
I do occasionally set up some pranks for people around my house if I'm gonna have a guest for the night. I have a mannequin, a full-size mannequin. I'll move that and I'll put it like in a doorway so it's backlit. So when they wake up, there's someone standing in the door.
Oh yeah, right. Imogen, we actually have life like size like Halloween characters. So we have Michael. We have the Michael Myers. He's like a 6 foot like life like size like big thing. We also have he also was a life size. We also have like wait a few other zombie life sized ones, and we also have like, okay, let's see, because we used to have these Halloween parties, right? It used to be like really fun. We used to actually have like 160 people at our house, actually, just everybody just get inside, DJ. There was I think like a bar inside our house, and we had just these huge like parties at like 2 or 3 in like the morning. It was like fun. So we actually have bought all this stuff for those parties, but we actually still have them. So this year I'm gonna try to prank my family, is that put that 6 foot Michael Myers maybe in like their room quietly in like the night, so I could like they could just wake up and see a massive man with like a fake knife, just like stay there, and then I'm just joking.
And when they're looking at him, the real killer comes from behind. I better do this twice an hour. You're listening to the Comedeorological Report. I'm Joey Only with Frankie MacDonald and our team of comedeorologists this week. That's Brandon Houck, the radio weatherman down in Brooks, Alberta, Imogen Cookie Bailey, rapping weatherman Gabriel Berardo, and our special guest, Rosanna Wijenberg, who's been talking to us about Fairy Creek. Brandon, there's a new, we're on the topic of movies. There's a new movie coming out about tornadoes. What do you know about this?
Yeah,
13
I
minutes?
saw that. Yeah, I think it's 13 minutes long, maybe longer than that. Hopefully, it's longer.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's
13
a
minutes?
movie called 13 Minutes.
Oh.
Looks like they're hopefully trying to do better than Into the Storm. Hopefully, that was a disaster. That movie. Yeah, the only bad part is the meteorologist on the TV is really bad. So we'll have to see how that plays. Looks like it was a pretty decent movie. More into tornadoes and getting to safety and stuff. So it should be interesting. So hopefully it's good. I think it's coming out at the end of the month here. So yeah.
Wow, man, I didn't actually know that. Thank you.
I just yesterday too.
Thank you, Brandon.
Rosanna Wijenberg, what's your favorite scary movie?
I think I go to political incorrectness hell if I say Antichrist.
You know what? I haven't watched that yet, but I might just want to watch it. Who knows?
I have a real soft spot for like art house gore, like not even gore, just art house horror. I really, 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 really love it. I like Evil Dead. I will for the crowd pleaser. There's so many. I'm just like, oh, and I'm totally blanking out. Of course, I can just live off horror movies. I go to sleep listening to like horror podcasts.
Nice.
If you want to talk about horror podcasts, that's where I'm like I'm the queen.
You know what? Also, I listen to. I listen to the true like events of some movies. So like like the I don't know like the there's like so like many of them that were based on true
Like
true
true crime
events.
stuff.
What? Okay, no,
Like
wait,
true
but
crime stuff,
I mean like these horror like films. Like there's some that are actually based on some true events. Conjuring, for example.
Some true
If you know
events
that
are
film.
scary.
They are, yeah.
Reality is the most terrifying thing going.
Oh yeah, right.
Favorite scary movie, Imogen? You must have a good one.
I don't know how scary it is, but Killer Clowns from Outer Space is definitely in the top 5. Chud is a personal favorite. Earlier today, I went back to the original Night of the Living Dead. That's one of my all-time favorites. Tony Todd was brilliant in it, and having like the main characters way ahead of its time. If you want to go look at the PC element of it, with having the heroes being a woman and a black dude for the time that came out, it was unheard of. Tony Todd absolutely nailed it. It was so good. And he's one of my personal favorite horror actors in general, just because of that amazing voice. And he had bees in his mouth for Candyman.
Frankie MacDonald, what's your favorite scary movie?
My favorite scary movie is Friday the 13th, part
Okay,
5.
Frankie.
The guy pretend to be Jason.
The guy pretend. Okay, hold up, Frankie. That's your next video, Frankie. Guy that pretends to be Jason.
The guy getting chased
You know
by
how much
50
people would
Jasons.
watch you? Yeah.
The
I
guy
can't wait to
getting
see that one, Frankie.
by 50 Freddies. Frankie getting chased by 50 Freddies.
There's a lot of girls after me now.
50 Frankies. My name is Frankie MacDonald, and I'm about to
Or
get
it
chased
could
by
be a dog-human hybrid movie. It's going to be a part dog, part human hybrid.
Wow.
Brandon, what's your favorite scary movie?
Well, I'm going to spoil the fun here because I am not a scary movie kind of person at all. Don't pull bull.
Did you not watch like one in your history, like one out of all your years of
I
living?
watched the movie It, and I was done after that.
How about
Okay, you know what? I like that movie. It's a pretty good storyline. I loved it. I love like the storyline was great, and there is also the first one, and then there's the remake, and then there's the one after that. They're all actually pretty good.
I thought it was pretty good. Growing up, I was a big Freddy Krueger fan. I just thought Freddy was awesome when I was a small kid. I always have a place in my heart for Robert Englund's portrayal of Frederick Krueger.
I couldn't watch that when I was a kid. It was too horrible. And now I watch it as adult and I can understand why it was so scary. But when I was a kid, I got scared of Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Wait.
So in my school, and I left the classroom and I was crying and I wouldn't go back in and just got really scared. I was like 7 or something. It was horrible.
Attack
You guys would actually watch?
tomatoes.
Wait, hold up.
But I watched The Shining when I was little, and that's my favorite horror movie that I've heard.
Oh
The
yeah.
Shining.
Okay, that
But I
one's
watched that when I was little, and that scarred me. So
That guy is only a little boy on a tricycle in the movie Shining. Did you
Horrible.
see the movie Doctor Sleep yet, guys?
Yeah.
I did not-
I did.
Doctor Sleep, that guy was all growing up.
Yeah.
what did you think of it?
It's a great
I
one.
thought-
That
yeah.
guy was all grown up. The same guy. His dad owned a hotel in the movie Shining.
I have to see it. Frankie, what's
Oh,
the
yeah,
scary?
yeah. It was-
What do you think is the scariest weather?
Hailstorm. Hail could damage windshields and people's cars, things like that. They have to watch out for hail. Hail
Gabriel,
can break windows and things like that. Hail is the main nemesis of bad weather.
Gabriel, you
Yeah.
concur with that?
Hail
Oh,
is
yeah.
worse
Yeah,
than
yes, for sure.
hurricanes. Hail is worse than heavy rain, severe thunderstorms.
I mean, like, don't they kind of connect and stuff? Without
Hail
severe
is
storms,
the
you can't
worst
have
of
it.
them all, like baseball, golf ball, nickel, pea-sized
Those are
hail,
scary.
quarter-sized hail, dime, or even penny-sized hail, and all those cracker crumb-sized hail in the thunderstorms, like golf ball, tennis ball, baseball, softballs. That's the nemesis of everybody.
Basketball.
Rosanna, when you're working when you're in the forest working, what to you is the scariest weather that you encounter in a day?
It depends what I'm doing. When I'm doing Douglas fir beetle trapping and I'm sticking the metal poles in the middle of a giant open clear cut and it's like thunder and lightning, that's when I go home.
Yeah, no doubt.
When I'm
Hail
working,
is the
Oh,
hail's
yeah.
worse
When
too.
when I'm working up in an old growth forest full of dead giant trees that are all falling down, it's like wind and hail, and we're gone. We're just like done.
Oh,
So,
yeah. 'Cause, I mean, it's good, right? Because you don't ever want to be caught with a bunch of trees, because even if they are some pretty old trees, right? Like branches kind of snap more easier, especially if they're even like
They'll
old
just
also
kill
too.
me.
So that could, yeah.
Kill me better. Squish.
One of my jobs, one of my hats on the wildfire line is I'm a dangerous tree assessor. So it's my job to go in first to a burnt area, to a work area, and assess which trees are most likely to, what's the chance of a tree coming down while we're in here doing what we're doing, whether it's the level of disturbance is high, like a helipad or something like that, or the level of disturbance is low, like we're just passing through, but try to assess. So for me, one of the most dangerous weathers events I come across regularly is just being in the forest when the winds pick up. Many times this summer on the fire line, having trees coming down all over the place.
So if it's like a 50-50, you have to cut down half the tree. I'm just joking, Joey. I'm just joking.
Well, sometimes there was a couple areas where we had to make decisions because there were so many trees that had to come down. We didn't want to fuel load.
Okay.
Then there's so many trees that have to come down, and then you just open up pockets for more trees to come down from the wind. Imogen, down in Victoria, what's the scariest weather? We're on the topic of scary. The scariest weather you come across, time that in your life in Vancouver Island, you're like, oh my God.
Well, in my adventures, the scariest weather for me is a meteor shower. That's for sure. Like nothing. Realistically, though, we have had some tsunamis here. There was an incident when I was quite young where I was walking on a little blocked off or encircled path of road, water on both sides, and there was tsunami waves coming up, washing over the water, and I almost got taken out by one of those. I think I was about 13. Oh, that was 100 years ago. Jeez.
Okay, wait, like 100 years ago. What, are you like 150 years old now? Or if you're 100 years ago?
Oh, I am way over 100.
And
It
was
you
the
have
first
to imagine if you had
space.
a hail size of a house.
What would that do, Frankie?
What's really scary is if you're trailing behind a comet, they're throwing so much ice and stones and stuff off at you that it'll just puncture your windshield. So it's ill-advised, much like driving behind a delivery truck.
And what about the hail size of the earth?
Well,
Those are terrible. Those don't hit you. You hit them. It's bad. Don't drive into them, Frank.
There was an announcement today that what they thought to be some outer world, like, there's these sort of ice giants on the periphery of our solar system, right? It turns out that one of these things they thought was one of these small ice bodies, ice planets, is a gigantic comet. And it should be coming through our solar system sometime around the year 2031, I think I read. And it should have come close enough to Saturn to get kind of a slingshot off of it to interact with its gravity, and should produce quite a tail. And apparently, like what was the last comet we had? Remember the last comet? Apparently that comet's about 10% the size of this object, right? So we may in about 10 years' time, have a fantastic comet show coming to us all. That's the news I saw today. Brandon Houck, what's the scariest weather that you encounter out there in your time? And you're in Brooks, Alberta, so...
Yeah, wild weather. I would say one storm a couple of years ago when I was watching it blow in from the west, and I decided I kind of made a bad choice there to stay out there and watch it blow in. And the wind ahead of the storm picked up dramatically, and it was calm. And 3 seconds later, the wind picked up to 130 kilometers an hour. And the chair, there's kind of a bench right beside me, that goes up, that gets lofted in the air. A dinghy that was sitting on the side of the pond over here, that goes up and that gets lofted in the air, and a pile of other debris was in the air. And I busted my butt back to safety, and I was running right beside the dinghy, and it was flying through the air, basically way up here in the air. And I'm running beside it, and it hits this gas tank, and you can hear it go bing. Oh man, that was wild. And
I found it. Blizzards and hailstorms are the scariest weather in my life.
Oh, I mean, right? Frankie obviously lives in Sydney, so he obviously gets major snowstorms.
Hailstorm is much worse than hurricane because hail can break windshields, hail can injure livestock and people and things like that. Hail is worse than a hurricane.
Well, hurricanes can do all that too, Frankie. Hurricanes can break windshields.
Oh yeah.
Hurricane with hail instead of rain is even more dangerous.
A hailocane. Well, truthfully, more people experience extreme hail events in a year than do people experience hurricane or typhoons or cyclones. So he makes a point.
Man, Frankie, did you know that the world's biggest hail is actually 8, I think, inches? 8. Like,
yes,
8
like
whole
grapefruit
inches.
size hail.
Oh yeah, like, did you know that, like, Brandon, or no? Did you know that? You must have obviously known that. 8 inches.
Some diameter.
Just imagine.
There could be pieces of ice size of basketballs. There could be pieces of ice size of the house. There could even be pieces of the ice size of our planet.
Yeah, but just like, wow, like 8 freaking, sorry for swearing, but 8 inches long, like wide, that's huge. Like, that's huge. I think that would literally kill you if it fell on you. It would. I think it would just do more than kill you. I think it would probably like crack open your head almost like
just imagine if the hailstorm is 71,492 kilometers, same size as Jupiter.
I have a technical question that maybe Frankie can answer.
Those are big.
So
there's in the universe, Frankie.
Those are big hailstones, man. Jupiter-sized hailstones. Watch out.
Yeah.
It's called an ice planet. But I've got a technical question that I'm hoping Frankie can. Frankie, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. In the last 5 years, what's the average annual rate of sharknadoes?
Sharknadoes and tornadoes are two different things. Sharknadoes, that means all the sharks get caught up in the water spout.
It does, and it's a horrifying thing. But I'm curious, in the last 5 years, what's the average annual rate of sharknadoes globally?
That means that when at the beach, just imagine lifeguard have dogs. Dogs will bark when a shark is coming in advance.
And then it's raining sharks. But that sometimes happens where frogs or eels or things like that get picked up and carried around by a storm, right? Grasshoppers or something like that this summer, was there not, Brandon? Gigantic clouds of grasshoppers.
Yeah, there's grasshoppers. They're dying now.
I'm a big fan of.
Oh yeah. I haven't really seen one in so long. I don't know why.
You got to come to Alberta. Find.
Oh yeah, but let's see. Like, I actually
see them on Doppler radar.
Yeah. But
looking out the window.
Maybe I guess during like the spring more, right? I guess that during like spring more than the fall. No.
Summer, midsummer, kind of mid.
Yeah. Okay, so that's why I haven't really seen any ants this year though. Ants is something that I haven't seen that much this year.
Ants, eh?
Yeah, no, I don't know why.
Either.
Apparently I've been looking through like these videos by people saying weird. I think they were like saying that like weird I guess year, and it was like Wi-Fi going bad. Yeah, right. Like I had some pretty bad Wi-Fi, and then there was no ants, and then I was like, wait, hold up. Someone else is also seeing no ants too. I'm not seeing that much ants either this year. I wonder what happened. Maybe they're just hiding from the virus,
Must
COVID.
be
You know, they're just
5G.
staying on the ground.
The ants don't like 5G.
Oh yeah, but everybody also seems to be having like posting about it too. I'm like, what? There is no. I guess we all just have the same exact problems in life, right? Like Wi-Fi, and then like there's no ants, and then not really sleeping good. Like we all just have the same exact type of problems and things in life.
Lots of
Who knows?
ants this year. We had tons of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I got hit in the head by a giant water bug, which I'm a bug scientist is my primary.
Oh yeah.
So the toe biters, which I'd never seen, and I was in the caribou, and it came flying, and I didn't know they were out of the water, and it came and it just hit me in the head, and then it landed on the ground next to me, and I was of course really enthusiastic and saw it, and then I read about what they do and how they got like this straw for their mouth. And they will stick that into a frog or a fish or like whatever their prey is, which can be pretty big. And they're like, this bug was like this big. And they will inject poison into them that will liquefy their whole insides. And then they will just sit there and eat like a frog milkshake or a fish milkshake. Yeah, it's gross.
Man, I wish I could do that too. Like...
And they'll just melt a little bit of it.
Roberto.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to call me Roberto.
Just a little bit of your insides, but they'll play dead. I was poking at it, and I found out they play dead, and then they will all of a sudden just bite you, and it supposedly hurts really bad.
Oh, ew! Does it like hurt?
Water bug is playing dead on you. Do not poke it. It's a bad idea.
One thing that I'm scared of is bees and wasps. I won't ever get near them. And if there was ever one chasing me, I don't care where I am. I don't care if I'm eating. Okay, let's see. Like once I was at this restaurant, right? Niagara. Everybody, of course, knows where that is, right? Niagara Falls. I was at this restaurant, and there was like an outdoor restaurant, right? So I was like, oh, let's go and eat outside, have some fun. But knowing that there was a bunch of bees kind of close to there, and they were all kind of going around my food in this weird kind of way, like this, and then it was kind of like bland, and I was like, oh my god, I could not sit here right now. I could not eat it. So I have just kept on getting up, and then my parents and whoever I was with was like, you just gotta keep on sitting. Like, they're not even gonna do anything to you. Just sit, okay? Like everybody's over here just like looking at you, and you're gonna make like a scene over here, like bees. I'm gonna just a little bee. Like, why are you so mad for? But then I was like, oh no, okay. So then I was eating this burger, so then I wanted to like eat it like fast, so I could just get like out of there as fast as I can. So I just like I was eating like 50 burgers at once, Frankie. I was like, oh.
I want you to eat 50 sloppy Joe burgers at once. Eat them all right now. Get up! Don't go falling down. I told you eat 5 more sloppy Joe burgers. If you're eating sloppy Joe burgers, don't go falling down.
And I was trying to like.
It all reminds me of something that Homer Simpson once said when he said, "What are you going to do? Release the dogs, or release the bees, or release the dogs that have bees in their mouths, and when they bark, they shoot bees at you?" Great quote.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It
was just like so bad.
We're coming to the end of the show. We'll start with you, Rosanna. Any last words? And now you've been on the comedeorology. You've been on the. It takes sometimes even I struggle to say it. Now you've been on the Comedeorological Report. You are free to be a comedeorologist and join us anytime.
Thanks. That's fun.
My social media, my Twitter is @FrankieMcD. My Facebook is Frankie MacDonald. My Instagram is Frankie McGee1984. My TikTok is Frankie Doll1984. My LinkedIn is Frankie MacDonald. My Snapchat is Frankie MACDO. And my Clap is Frankie Doll1984. My Twitch is Frankie Doll1984. And my YouTube channel is Dogs and Wolves.
With 268,000 subscribers, Frankie MacDonald, the man. I'm Joey Only. You've been listening to the Comedeorological Report on CFUR 88.7 FM in Prince George, Saturdays at 10 a.m., repeats at 4 p.m. Tuesdays, and CKUW 95.9 FM Winnipeg airs at noon hour local time Mondays. We've had our panel of meteorologists, Gabriel Berardo, Brandon Houck in Brooks, Alberta, Rosanna Wijenberg, Imogen Cookie Bailey, who's wearing a spacesuit and has the Crypt Keeper doll in her hand after just having had the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And before that, the Bride of Chucky and Frankie MacDonald, of course.
Question
Tune in
also,
next
Joey.
week. Okay, we got time for one question.
Okay, yeah. So wait. On like your first show, how did you memorize it or like know it on like the first show? Did you have to like write it down somewhere to know on like your first ever show, or did you keep on just like?
Well, I did
so,
like 9.
Wait,
I did 9 years in radio, so I just kind of have that. It just comes to me pretty easy. Just not even memorize, just make it up on the spot and it comes out. I guess so. It's a talent. Brandon Houck, you're a radio man. You have sort of that auto repetition, I'm sure. Do you?
Oh yes, I always catch myself in public saying the radio station. Yep.
Yeah.
Can you give us an example of like what you might say Brooks, Alberta, on the Real Country Music Station there? Just give us a Brandon Houck moment.
Okay. Hold on. All right. So this weather forecast brought to you by the Brick and Brook, saving you more on Real Country 105.7. We have temperatures on the way up to 25 degrees this afternoon. Overnight tonight, low down to about 7 or so. And then temperatures will continue on into next week with low 20s. And yeah, we'll also see mixed sun and cloud. Nice weather persisting through the rest of the week. And that's the weather on Real Country 105.7.
Is that like the actual like weather? Yeah, right?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, geez. Nice.
And I'm going to have to edit some time to make space for this, but we never did talk about this. Brandon, you missed last week because your dog passed. And just can you give us sort of a rundown of the ordeal of that? And
sorry for
and the GoFundMe for the vet bills, how people can contribute.
Yeah, so yeah, it was a tough week there last week. My dog was involved with a hit and run, and yeah, it was pretty bad. We went to Brooks, and then we ended up having to transfer to Calgary, and it was so bad we had to sadly put him down. Usually sits right here watching me doing this show, actually. So yeah, he's been kind of a contributor, even though he's been really quiet for every other episode there, but. Yeah, so we did that, and I was not expecting the support I was going to get. I was like, okay, but the love and support absolutely overwhelming over the past week. So I have to thank everybody for that. Absolutely. I was not even expecting to see a GoFundMe like that up either. I was like, oh, you don't have to do that. But nope. Somebody, a good friend of mine, was on the Alberta Storm Chasers group, put out the GoFundMe there, and we've already raised. Looks like we've already raised over $3,000.
Nice.
And about $100 away from where we've actually raised almost the whole vet bill, actually. So it's absolutely amazing. But the GoFundMe is up on I don't know. I have to find the link, but I'll get the link up, and yeah, absolutely outstanding indeed.
Okay, send it. And I will also share it too on my do kind of that sharing stuff where I could share. So yeah. I mean, like you said, hit and run. It's where it gets run over. What did who was it run over by, and what did they think? What did they?
We don't know that.
I did not see it at all.
Oh, okay.
I kind of good part, but he actually crawled his way home. So
oh man, that's kind of sad, man.
That did that, but yeah. Then got assessed to see what happens. I wasn't sure what happened when he came back. I thought it was just one thing, but it was, yeah, everything wasn't good. No.
Well, we're glad to have you back this week, Brandon. And yeah, sorry that happened, buddy. You've been listening to the Comedeorological Report, and we'll see you all next week.